So what we discussed about the modules, right? So Satish,
Bro, yeah.
did you watch that
No,
Ansible
no,
module,
no,
Terraform
no,
module?
no, bro. Yeah. I am on
Yes.
call actually, weekend.
Okay, okay, okay.
So I didn't get time. Even today, yesterday night also, I'm on call. I'm just done with my office work now, just now only.
Okay, okay.
I
Ish.
will go through it. I will go through it.
Yeah, you can go through
Models
it.
మీరు మోడల్స్ మీరే చెప్పారా వేరే వాళ్ళు చెప్పారా
I know. నేనే చెప్పాను.
మీరే చెప్పారు వేరే వాళ్ళు చెప్తారు అని స్టార్టింగ్ లో అన్నారు అయితే
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I will give you. So I will ask him to um, take a one session for that module. Okay.
ఓకే ఓకే
Yeah. So introduction to Ansible. So what is
సో
Ansible?
వన్
Why
మోర్ క్వశ్చన్
Ansible?
బ్రో ఆర్ వి డన్
Yeah.
విత్ టెరాఫార్మ్ ఆర్
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Done with the Terraform. So I will ask him to take a one session for modules. Modules is more important. Okay. So we can call the modules. We can write the modules and keep it in somewhere else or locally or a bit bucket remotely or in the S3 bucket. Right. We can call it. It's like a skeleton. Model is like a skeleton. Okay.
ఓకే ఓకే
For example, you want to create a EC2 instance on dev environment, QA environment, and production environment, right? Okay.
ఎస్ ఎస్
So what you can do is, so in dev environment, you want to add a volume of 50 GB. In QA environment, you want to add a VPC. In production environment, you want to add a SG, for example. Okay. So, so EC2 instance is common for all the environments, but in dev environment we need only volume. In the QA environment we need only VPC. In the production environment we need only security group. Okay. So I don't want to create a EC2 instance resource on all these three. So we can create a module called as a EC2 instance. In the EC2 instance we created the main variable outputs.tf. So in the main.tf, I created a resource called as a in AWS underscore instance. Okay, we can use that module. Then we can just add the volume in the main module in the dev environment. Okay, in the QA environment, only add VPC. In the production environment, only add the security group. Okay, that reusability we can reuse anywhere. So our main stack, something like our development stack, the main file should be a minimal. Okay, Satish.
ఓకే బ్రో గాట్ ఇట్ యా
Yeah, yeah. You can watch that recording. You will understand the what is
యా
module.
షూర్ బ్రో ఐ విల్ వాచ్
Yeah. So
సో
introduction to answer.
సో సేమ్ వే వీ హ్యావ్ టు క్రియేట్ ద అదర్ సర్వీసెస్ ఇన్ ద
Yeah,
ఏడబ్ల్యూఎస్
yeah.
రైట్
Other.
అదర్
Yeah.
సర్వీసెస్ యా
Yes, yes, yes. S3 bucket. You want S3 bucket.
ఓకే
You want VPC. So after Ansible, I will teach you the S3 bucket.
ఓకే బ్రో యా
Okay.
యా
Yeah, introduction to Ansible. Ansible. So Ansible is a. So what is Ansible? So configuration management versus infrastructure orchestration. So what is that? So configuration management versus infrastructure orchestration. Ansible, Chef, Puppet are configuration management tools, which means that they are primarily designed to install and manage the software on existing servers. Manage softwares on install and manage softwares on existing servers only. So where we can apply this configuration management? So configuration management is nothing but a, so it will install and manage the softwares on existing servers only. But so who will build the infra? Who will provision the infra? In which tool we can use? So what we discussed in the last tool, Terraform. So Terraform is the configuration management tool infrastructure orchestration tool, which basically means they can provision the servers and infrastructure by themselves. So after building the infra, so we can use the configuration management tool to install and manage the unexisting softwares. For example, we need a server. So we can build the server. We can build the server through Terraform. So once provision the servers, I need to install the Tomcat and install Java Tomcat on that server. So for that purpose, we can use the Ansible, Chef, Puppet, or configuration management tools, which means they are primarily designed to install and manage the softwares on existing servers. Okay, here you see. So the configuration management tool can do some degree of infrastructure provisioning, but the focus here is that some tools are going to better fit for the certain types of tasks. So which one? Ansible Puppet is the configuration management tool, and Terraform, CloudFormation, Azure ARM. So these all are for the better fit for the infrastructure orchestration. Okay. So for example. So by using Terraform, we can build the infra. After building the infra, install and configure the application by using Ansible. So only on existing servers, the Ansible will work. IAC and configuration management tools are both are friends because of so once we build the infra, Terraform inform to Ansible. Yeah, so the provision is completed. You can install your own. And you can install and configure the application. Right? Yeah, now you understood the introduction to Ansible. So the configuration management tools. So what are the what is it, guys? Yeah. So what is that? So Ansible is the configuration management tool. Now you understand Ansible is the configuration management tool. Right, guys? So Ansible. So what is it? So configuration management tool. So the configuration management tool. So so what are the configuration management tool to install and configure our application? Right. For example, this is so who are supporting the configuration management tools? So configuration management tool supports. What is the first configuration management tool is Chef. So later Puppet also come into the picture. Puppet. Now what is the Ansible? Ansible. Okay, understood. So configuration management tool. So what are the configuration management tool to install and configure your application after provisioning the on existing servers? On existing servers. So for example, so for example, so this is the Terraform. So this is the Terraform. So by using this Terraform, so we build the infra. So which infra? For example, EC2 instance. So which instance? EC2 instance. So this is the So this is the EC2 instance. So in the EC2 instance, I want to install the Java and Tomcat. I want to install the Java and Tomcat, right? So, for example, one server, if it is a one server, right, it will be very easy to install the Java Tomcat. If it is 100 servers or if it is 1,000 servers, I want to install Java Tomcat or I want to patch our servers, 100 servers, 1,000 servers. So, right, it will be very difficult because of 100 servers per server, it will take 10 minutes, 100 into 10. So we need 1,000 minutes to install the server to install the softwares, right? For that purpose, initially the which tool is used for to use the configuration management tool. Chef is the first configuration management tool. What is the Chef is the first configuration management tool. So this supports, for example, I want to okay. These all are the three servers. I want to install the I want to install the uh, Tomcat Java on these three servers. Tomcat Java, Tomcat Java on these servers. So how it works? It works agent-based configuration management tool. What is that? So agent-based configuration management tool. So if you want to install the, for example, so we took the Chef server. This is the Chef server. If you want to install the Java Tomcat on these three servers, so we need to install the agent because of how you can communicate with these two. We can communicate with these two the agent. So what is that? We can communicate with the agent. So if agent is installed, right, it will check every 10 minutes or something like the agent both are communicating with each other, both are communicating with each other. So then only if you run the chef recipes, if you run the so recipe we call it as a chef cookbooks. What is the name of the chef we are using? Cookbooks. So cookbooks. So in the cookbooks, there is a recipes. A recipe is nothing but a Java installation and Tomcat installation are the recipes. So if you run the cookbook, it will check the chef. The agent is able to communicate. Agent, these all are the target servers. Target servers is nothing but a newly built servers. What is that? Target servers. A target servers is nothing but a newly built servers. So so we need to run the agent to communicate with each other. So if the agent is not running, the target mission, whatever the target mission, want to install Java Tomcat, it will not install the Java Tomcat on the target mission. Because of if the agent is running, then only we can install the Tomcat Java. Right? So this is nothing but this is the drawback of the Puppet. This is the drawback of the Chef. The same way, Puppet also we need a so Puppet also we need a agent. Agent is running on the Puppet also. But why Puppet is popular? Because of Puppet is running the modules based. What is that? Module based. So here they started a modules. So then the popular of the Puppet is because of here, he started the modules. What is that? Modules. What is module? I will tell you guys. So this is also agent-based communication protocol. What these are? These two are agent-based communication. So that's the reason. So these two are not popular. So why Ansible is popular? Because of Ansible is a agentless communication. Agentless. Why Ansible is popular? Why Ansible is using all the people? Why Ansible is using? Because of Ansible is the agentless communication. Agentless. How agentless? Something like this is our Ansible server. This is our Ansible server, and these are our target servers. What is that? A target is nothing but a newly built servers. Target is nothing but a newly built servers. How they can install the softwares on newly built servers. So we can use the so what is that? So we can use agentless communication. So what is agentless communication? So agentless means so we don't need to install the agent on the target servers. So we don't need to install we don't need to install agent on the target servers. But how they how they will communicate with each other? They will communicate with each other through a passwordless authentication. What is that, guys? So what is that? Passwordless authentication. What is that? So how you can communicate with each other? You can communicate with each other through SSH, right? So in the SSH, we will create a passwordless authentication between these two servers. And if you run the playbook, what we call it as here, here we call it as a playbook. So what is that? So playbook. So the playbooks we call it as a tasks. In the playbooks. So we call it as a place calls task calls modules. So task calls modules. So right, if you want to install a Apache Tomcat or Java Tomcat on these two servers, so we can use the a module. We can use the module. How you can install the Apache and Tomcat, guys? We can install the Apache and Tomcat. M install HTTPD is the in Linux, or how you call it as m install httpd, m install Java. But I want to create a playbook for installing these. So we can use the module, a module called as for example, a module is, right? Module based, right? What is a module? M is the module. What is the module, guys? M is the module. You can use the M module and we can install the packages. I want to start the service. Service is the module, guys. What is that? So service is the module. We have a number of modules are there in the documentation. So Ansible document, you can use those documentation and we can call the modules. We can call it the modules. Guys, understood? Satish,
Yeah, yeah, yes, bro.
you understood, right? So
Yeah.
Ansible is a so agentless. Ansible is the agentless communication protocol. So we can use the Ansible and we can install the number of you can install the you can install the packages on number of servers by using the passwordless authentication. Guys, do you know how to create the passwordless authentication? Guys, do you know how to create the password authentication? Right. So
Yeah.
task for you guys. What is the task?
SSH keys through.
Through SSH is very good. Yeah. So what you guys can do is you guys can create the two instance. You can launch the two EC2 instances in the Ansible server. Okay. Sorry, in the AWS cloud. So what you can do, you can launch the two EC2 instance in the AWS, AWS. Then you can create the passwordless authentication between these two servers. Okay. This is the task. What is the task? So launch two servers in the EC2 service. And what you can do, so name call it as a one is Ansible server. The second one is target server. Name call it as a Ansible server and target server. Target server may be a Tomcat server, Apache server, whatever it may be. Okay. So and create a password less authentication. Create a password authentication between Ansible server to target server. Ansible server to target server, guys. Okay. So this is the task for you guys. Okay. So you guys can tomorrow. You guys can create. You guys can done this one. Guys. So tomorrow I will show you how to install the Ansible on the Ansible server. Then how to install Java or Tomcat, or how to install the Apache, and how to start the service. I will show you tomorrow. Okay. So this is the task for you guys. Yeah. So now you understood the why Ansible is popular, right? Why Ansible is popular? Ansible is popular because of Ansible is popular because of, guys, tell me, because of it's a agentless communication pro. It is a agentless configuration management tool. What is that, guys? It's a agentless. So agentless communication protocol. Guys, understood? Replace with DevOps batch 54 date 28/04/25. What is that? Right now, Ansible. Okay. So what is Ansible? What is Ansible, guys? Ansible is an open source, open source configuration management tool. So configuration management tool. So what we can do using Ansible? We can use Ansible configuration management. What we can do? So we can do the configuration management and application deployment. Okay. So in our environment, we are using Ansible, Ansible control tower. So what is that, guys? AWX, AWX GUI, Ansible GUI, guys. So we are using our environment. We are using Ansible control tower to deploy the applications. Ansible control tower for daily deployment. So application deployment and cloud provisioning. cloud provisioning means infrastructure, IAC. So cloud provisioning also we can use, and IAC, infrastructure as a code, also we can use, and continuous delivery and orchestration. So orchestration purpose also, so we can use. So so what is Ansible? It allows you to automate. What is that? Automate repetitive tasks. So this is most important, guys. So what is that? It allows you to automate the repetitive task easily, easily by writing simple and human readable files called as playbooks. And I told you, right? So playbooks. So these playbooks are written in YAML, YAML format. So what is YAML? YAML. So YAML is nothing but a yet another markup language. So it's not, it's a layman language. What is that? Layman language. So so we cannot use the functioning, something like it's a function based or something like. So what it is, so what it supports what is that? Agentless. Why it is popular? Agentless. So what is agentless? So what is agentless, guys? Agentless is nothing but a no need to install any software on the client target. It's nothing but a client. So target missions. So target missions. So what it will use? It will use SSH, SSH to connect and execute the. So to connect and execute the tasks. So what is that? So next one is simple and powerful. What is that, guys? Simple and powerful. Simple and powerful. So what is that powerful, simple, and so uses a plain English instructions, easy to learn and use. So it uses the plain English instructions. It uses the plain using instructions. Okay. So what is this? Highly scalable. You can automate a few servers or thousands of servers easily. So item patent running the same playbook multiple times won't change the final state unless something is different. So right. So what are the use cases? Installing and updating the softwares across the multiple servers, setting up environments, something like a Kubernetes. Also, we can use the YAML files also. What is that? Kubernetes. Netis also uses the YAML files, YAML files to deployment, YAML files for deployments, right? So for the deployment, for the deployment. And so managing cloud services, like if you want to manage the cloud services, you can use Amazon, Azure, GCP, Oracle, IBM, right? Automating daily server maintenance tasks also. For example, OS patching. Okay, OS patching. So we can use Ansible to apply the patches. To apply the patches. You guys understood? Yeah, Ansible. So Ansible, Red Hat acquired the Ansible, guys. Before it is, so someone later Ansible is acquired by the Red Hat, and they include in the Linux, guys. Red Hat 8 onwards, they included the Ansible in the Red Hat OS. Okay. So Ansible is the automation engine. Ansible automation engine architecture, for example, this is the architecture, guys. So this is the Ansible server. In the Ansible server, you create the playbook, something like a zookeeper.aml. This is the playbook, or something like install apache.aml. So this is the aml. This is the playbook, guys. In the playbook, you can write the place. On the place, you can write the task. On the task, you can write the module. Module is nothing but, for example, I want to install the Apache HTTPD on the few servers, right? On which servers you want to apply, you want to install the HTTPD. I want to install the HTTPD on 4 servers. I want to install the HTTP and 4 servers. You can use these are the 4 servers. For example, 10.58.121.51, 52, 53. On these 3 servers, I want to install the Apache HTTPD. Right. So inventory is nothing but on which client, which target missions want to install install the Apache, right? For example, how you can through the SSH. So, for example, dev, QA, UAT, prod, whatever it may be, through the SSH, we can we can install the we can install and configure the application. Okay. So Ansible is a simple, powerful, agentless, versatile, and open source. It's a open source. So Ansible management node. This is the you install the Ansible on this Ansible management node. On the Ansible management, you have a playbook and the inventory. And the inventory. So what is this group? Group A, Group B, Group C, Group B, and Group B. So for example, so in our company, how many servers you have? You have 1,000 servers. All are communicated with the Ansible management node. But so for example, few servers are related to app server, few servers are related to DB servers, few servers are related to messaging queues. Right, like that, there is a group. So if you run the Ansible playbook on that inventory contains the DB servers, application servers, and the messaging queue servers. So what this playbook contains? This playbook is contains only install the HTTPD. So where we can install the HTTPD? We can install the HTTPD on a Apache on a app servers only, right? So we cannot install the Apache on the DB servers. We will not install the Apache on the messaging queue servers. We need to install only on the Apache app servers, right? So you can segregate the servers. You can create a group, call it as a app server group. So we can include only application servers. In the DB group, you can include only DB servers. In the messaging you call in messaging in that group messaging you can install, you can keep it the messaging queue servers. I want to apply a patch. I want to apply or I want to install a software on only app servers, you can target those app servers. You can provide the host group name as a app server. So that playbook is only apply on that app server. Guys, understood this one? This is most important. Guys, understood? Satish, Pradeep. So
Yeah.
we need to install uh the package HTTPD on a serve particular servers. Then so there is a group. Then there is a called as a group, guys. So what is agenda? So what is Ansible? Why Ansible? Ansible use cases, architecture of Ansible, configuration management with Ansible. Quick demo, guys. So what is Ansible? Ansible is an open source configuration management and provisioning tool similar to Chef and Puppet or a Salt. It uses SSH to connect the servers and run the configured task. Ansible lets you control and configure nodes so from the single machine. What makes it different from the other management software is that Ansible uses SSH infrastructure. The project was founded in 2013 and bought by Red Hat in 2015. So 2015 bought by Red Hat. Why Ansible? Ansible is a no agent. As long as a box can be SSHed into and it has Python, it can be configured with Ansible. So idempotent. Ansible's whole architecture is structured around the concept of idempotency. The core idea here is that you only do things if you are needed and that things are repeatable without side effects. So declarative, not procedural. So other configuration tools tend to be a procedural, do this and then do that and so on. Ansible works by you writing a description of the state of the mission that you want, then it takes the steps to fulfill that description. So tiny learning curve. Ansible is a quite easy to learn. It does not require an extra. It does not require an extra knowledge. So it does not require an extra knowledge. So Ansible use cases. So what are the Ansible use cases? It's a provisioning tool and configuration management tool, app deployment, continuous delivery, security, compliance, and orchestration. So architecture of the Ansible. Ansible architecture. This is the Ansible server. The Ansible automate engine, what is that? Is a inventory, API, modules, plugins. So users connect, you can run the users, you can run the playbook. So it will be installed on host or a networking. So what is the inventory? The inventory is a description of a nodes that can be accessed by a Ansible. The inventory is a description of nodes that can be accessed by a Ansible. By default, the inventory is described by the configuration file whose default location is slash etc Ansible host. So where is the default location of the Ansible inventory, guys? Slash etc Ansible host. The configuration file lists either the IP address or a host name of the each node that is accessible via Ansible. Every host is assigned to a group such as web servers, DB servers, etc. The inventory file can be in one of many formats such as AML or INI. Inventory.ini, inventory.aml. Okay. So examples of an inventory file. So mail.example.com. So web servers. What are the web servers? So food.example.com, bar.example.com, DB servers. So this is the DB servers group. So one example.com, two example.com, three example.com. So playbook. Playbooks are simple AML files. These files are descriptions of the desired state of your system. Ansible then does the hard work of getting your systems to that state no matter what state they are currently in. Playbooks makes your installations, upgrades, day-to-day management repeatable and reliable tasks. So playbooks are simple to write and maintain. Playbooks are written in a natural language, so they are very easy to evolve and edit. Playbooks contains a place contains a task calls modules. So examples of an Ansible playbook. So this is the format, guys. Three hyphens, hyphen host equal to web servers. So we are targeting on a web servers only. Here we are providing the host. So host equal to all. So it will be applying all the servers. I don't want to apply all the servers. I want to apply on a particular group of servers. Which servers? Web servers, DB servers, or messaging servers. I want to apply this playbook on only web servers. You can use the host equal to web servers. So remote user. On which user you want to run this playbook? A root user. Tasks name ensure Apache is the latest version. So the name is nothing but it's a comment or a description. M. So M is the module. What is that? M is the module. Name equal to HTTPD. State equal to latest. So it will be installed the in the M. We can install the package as HTTPD. State equal to latest version of HTTPD will be installed on this web server. Ensure Apache is running. So after installing the service, we need to start the service. Service name HTTPD state started enabled equal to S. This is the playbook example of a Ansible playbook, guys. Understood? Modules. There are over 1,000 modules provided by the Ansible to automate every part of the environment. Modules are like a plugins that do the actual work in the Ansible. They are what gets executed in each playbook task. Each module is mostly standalone and can be written in standard scripting language. Each module is mostly standalone and can be written in standard scripting language such as Python, Perl, Ruby, Bash, etc. So one of the guiding properties of a module is idempotency, which means that even if an operation is repeated multiple times, it will always place the system into the same state. Okay, examples of modules. There are lots of modules such as a service module, file module, copy module, IP table modules, M modules, etc. Any module can be used as so Ansible, something like this 127.0 -, service hyphen name, team started, Ansible localhost m hyphen ping. These are the commands. So roles are a way of group tasks together into one container. So we could have the role for setting up MySQL, another one role for configuring IP tables. Roles make it easy to configure hosts. So any role can be performed on any host or any group host, such as all role equal to role one, role two. Okay. So companies that are using Ansible, Twitter is using, Cisco is using, Verizon, Red Hat, Atlassian, NASA, they are using. So configuration management with Ansible. Ansible is the simple solution for configuration nodes. So it's designed to be a minimal in nature, consistent, secure, and highly reliable. Any developer or a tester or IT manager can easily configure nodes. Any IT person can write playbooks easily. Ansible configurations are a simple data descriptions of your infrastructure, ensuring everyone, your team will be able to understand the meaning of each configuration task. Ansible requires nothing more than the password or SSH key in order to start managing systems and can start managing them without installing any agent software. Ansible. So what is that? docs.ansible.com. What is that? Docs.ansible.com. Guys, understood? So docs.ansible.com. So this is the documentation, guys. Ansible community documentation. So this is the documentation you can use. So you can install the modules. So this is the documentation, guys. So Ansible core, Ansible core documentation. So installing guide. So installation, how to install the Ansible. Okay, we'll show you tomorrow, guys. Tomorrow I will install the Ansible. Guys, what you can do is, so you can create the passwordless authentication between two servers, guys. That is the task for you. So once you've done that, right, I will install the Python on a Ansible server EC2 instance. Then I will create the playbook and I will apply the playbook on the target missions, guys. Okay.
Okay.
Yep. Thank you.